Hi, I'm Heather with Rebel Hearts Coaching, and I haven't done videos in a very long time. And I just kind of wanted to come back to it a little bit and kind of share some of my journey with journaling and oracle and tarot cards and how they kind of come into my life with what I'm dealing with in the moment. So, right now, my situation is very it looks very scary. It's very daunting, very challenging financially. And so there's a lot of old patterns and fears and things that are coming up as far as grasping and trying to control and oh my god, money's going to be gone and what am I going to do, there was a time in my life where I really felt not going to cry, like I sold my soul to make money, and I never want to do that again. Never want to do that again. And so, bear with me. The feels. Anyways, one thing I'm going to go into. I'm a sensitive person. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to share, what this looks like in my day-to-day, because I can talk about it and say how cool it is to work with oracle cards, but for a lot of people, what does that look like? And it is unique to each of us, but I really wanted to share some of my heart. So this was a journal entry from the other day, and I wrote, I'm ready to truly own my sensitivity, all of it, without judgment. I want to honor and respect it with love. The more we understand ourselves, the clearer life becomes. Wisdom floods forth to teach, to change, and to grow us. Paying attention to my sensitivity and intentionally becoming curious about it is a critical element here. Learning to understand the ways and the whys to my highly sensitive moments will help me to pave a new way and not walk right back into the chains the world provides as some form of false security. With better understanding, I can make decisions that are honoring, that are supportive, that aren't reacting to life circumstances out of fear and desperation. I recognized this morning that I wasn't excited about the application I put in for a particular company. It felt like I was setting my own trap into those old chains of the 9 to 5. The cubicles, the phone calls, the emails, the text messages, the demands, the deadlines, the not enough time in the days, the stress, the noise, the constant talking and ringing and clickety-clacketing that's so insanely overwhelming for me. The headaches, being under the fluorescents and the LEDs all day. I'm just too sensitive for it. But that doesn't mean that something is wrong with me. The universe will provide the way. Pardon me. I only need to follow love and trust that I will be provided for. And then I wrote, I believe I can do what I love and make a living from it. I release the fear around chains and the desperation that's willing to pick them up again. I choose to love myself, honor my sensitivity, and follow my heart in working with others to give guidance, support, encouragement, and love for each other and the world. Because we're all in this together. Excuse me. We're all in this together. Yes, please bear with my sensitivity. She likes to cry a lot. And then this was actually from yesterday, and then I'm going to share my cards that went with this as well. So I wrote, actually in between those few days, I had a few nights where I was waking up and like a panic. And I'm like, oh shit, what am I going to do? 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 And all these things are just rolling through my head. And I was like, no, stop. Like, just stop. Breathe. We can do this. Let's be creative. Let's go about this in a different way. Because how we choose to look at things really can dictate the type of experience we have within it. So this is what I'm working with here. So I wrote, breaking old patterns is an interesting journey of self-discovery. Sometimes those old ways, they really like to tenaciously hold on. They'll creep in when you're tired or feeling too many stressors at one time, and learning to not let them derail you is so important. recognizing them for what they are, as well as recognizing the myriad of ways they present themselves, goes a really long way in staying on track with the new patterns we're working to set. Moving from fear-based living to love-based is so incredibly nuanced, yet so very simple. Once you begin to recognize the layers and the connections, it's like puzzle pieces start coming together to reveal the whole picture. You begin to see yourself in entirely new ways. You start to believe in yourself, to trust yourself, and to truly feel worthy of joy, knowing that it is within you to change your experience of life. It's like learning to no longer cater to the complainer. Society has taught us to cater to the people acting the asshole so they'll quiet down, not make a scene, or cause trouble. It's nuts. But when it comes to dealing with ourselves, we must be willing to no longer bow down to the asshole within, irregardless of how that asshole ended up there. It's fear-based living. Assholes tend to be the loud ones, and it's up to us if we're going to decide to listen to them or cater to them. And so my asshole right now is saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Do this, do that, do whatever now. You know, because you only have a few weeks left of living expenses and no income. And so it's like, rah, do it now, you know. And I'm really trying to not cater to the fear and to the panic, which can be hard, you know. But one thing to recognize within ourselves with that is that the asshole demands everything right now. There is no patience. And so is time short? Yes. But if I fall back into taking action based on the fear-mongering ass, I'm only setting myself up for more of that energy and more of those experiences. If I cater to the assholes at the coffee shop and give minimal acknowledgement to the kind ones, eventually I'd end up with a shop full of assholes because the kind ones will be driven away, right? So that's not the kind of shop I want, not within my own heart, not within my life. And so my spirit says, breathe. Breathe. It says that a lot. Take one trusting, intuitive step at a time. Hold to that feeling of safety, regardless of how it seems. Trust and believe that miracles are a natural response to love. Settle yourself in the energy of love and feel at peace. We got you, and you got this. Keep following your heart. Let your soul lead through love, peace, joy, kindness, wonder, because you're safe. And so sometimes when I'm journaling, it'll be like I'm talking to myself, and then other times it's like I get little tidbits from my guides, my angels, you know, my ancestors, and so it all kind of comes out riddled in my journaling here. So it's a lot of fun. However, so with that, I drew cards. So my first two cards I drew from the Keepers of Light Oracle, which is by Kyle Gray. And these first two cards represent kind of like my lessons, the lessons I'm in right now, my soul lessons. And so this first card is Freya, Phases and Cycles. There is a beginning within every ending, and illusions are revealed and released. So it says, see the wisdom that each cycle brings as you continue to remove the old layers that no longer serve you and the life you desire. It may seem at one point that panic cannot return, but then it shows up again. You're recognizing the layers in this as you practice faith and trust. The old pattern freaks out while the new pattern takes a deep breath, views from different perspectives, and opens its eyes to opportunities within the challenges. Don't feed the asshole anymore. Deny its service. Then take that deep breath and refocus. Focus on love, not fear. See the old pattern with love, for it's there that you can release it again and again until that new pattern is solidly established. One thought, one belief, one idea, one step at a time as you focus on love and follow your joy. This is a big lesson for me. because, whew, you know, I spent so much of my life lived in fear. Like everything was in fear. Everything was in panic. Everything was in desperation. You know, I've lived that life where I had people come into my home when my kids were babies and they actually repossessed my crib. They took my child's bed. I've lived that. Sucks. Bad. And so those old patterns of, oh my God, you can't let that happen again, or, you know, whatever it is, that panicky stuff comes up with certain stories and reminds me of certain things. And then, you know, like as I go through those layers and those layers start peeling away, you know, I don't even necessarily have the story itself that comes up anymore, but that energy does. I still feel the energy even if the story isn't repeating in my head. And it's tricky, you know, and that's why it's just, you know, one step at a time. Remember to breathe, you know. Some of those first layers that have to come off are freaking gnarly, you know, and it takes time. And I've had to learn to have and hold so much patience for myself, which is not easy. Patience was not a gifted virtue, nor was it really taught at home. Yes, patience is a difficult one. So anyways, big lesson, right? And so my next card is Horus. And this is, it says Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. And so I wrote, you are becoming more and more aware of how you're influencing the energy around you and how it in turn is influencing you. You have the ability to manifest miracles. Those miraculous experiences that manifest from your focus. Your thoughts cultivate your world. Be intentional. What do you choose? How do you choose? You're learning to truly own this with radical acceptance. Yes, so this lesson. This is really about recognizing the energy that I'm in, that I'm attached to, that I'm working with, and how that influences things. You know, how I hold on to certain thoughts or ideas or attitudes, you know, how is that showing up in my life? What am I seeing as a result of that? And the more you begin to recognize it and see it in your life, it's like, oh, you know, you have all these aha moments, like, oh, now I see it, you know. And so, you know, that a lot of that is still coming up, like, okay, I see these things, and I'm choosing to respond differently. Now, am I responding differently in every moment? No, I still have my moments of like, oh shit. But I'm getting better and better about recognizing it in the moment so that I can choose from love instead of reacting in fear. Another big one, right? It's kind of like common lessons to us all. Okay, so my next two cards represent kind of the where I'm at with things and what I need to bring in or allow for in order to further integrate these lessons in my life. So these next two cards are from Crow Tarot. And my first card was the Five of Wands. And what I had written was, let the remnants of the old pattern teach you more about yourself and your influences. You're capable of holding multiple perspectives while choosing the one that is right and good for you. So, where I'm at, what I'm looking at, what I'm doing is recognizing the old pattern, allowing it to teach me about myself. And, you know, sometimes it's a little difficult. We don't want to really look too deep into ourselves sometimes, but it really is the only way to our freedom, to our inner peace, to our ability to live life differently. You know, I mean, I call my business Rebel Hearts Coaching for a reason, you know, because it's the rebel heart that says, I'm not going to live like the world does anymore. I choose love, and I'm going to choose it for what's right for me. Not what's right for everyone else or whatever, but what is right and good here. Because when we're right and good here, that's what we give. We give the right, we give the good, we give the love, right? And so holding all these different perspectives is really about being able to see the different layers, to see how they've presented themselves in my life, and deciding, like, being able to say, okay, I look back at the other day when I sent in a job application and just felt icky about it, realizing that, okay, I made this decision based on desperation and fear without considering, honoring myself, what was right for me. Because the reality is, there's no way I could, well, it wouldn't last long if I were in, a kind of cubicle office sort of environment. It's too much for me. I'm too sensitive on so many levels. And I'm a kind of ADHD. But anyways, seeing all of that, bringing the pieces together, learning from it, that's where I'm at. And so what I'm needing is the Hermit. And so I wrote, allow yourself the space and time, however it shows up, to look deeper and discover even more about yourself. Draw up the wisdom within and then share it with others. As you practice lighting your own way out of the gloom, let yourself be a beacon of light for someone else. And so these are lifelong lessons in self-discovery when we're willing to take that journey. And for me, this is learning how to live my joy, not live my fear. So I wrote, we just have to become aware and choose how we're going to deal with the asshole. Awareness is the first step to living empowered, and from there it lies within our choice. How we choose to respond in life, whether love or fear, is our power, and it creates and weaves our experiences. So, yeah, this is kind of what I'm facing and dealing with in my life, and how my journaling has allowed me to see things more clearly within myself, and how the cards bring so much encouragement. Really, there's so much encouragement in it, but also insights and perspectives that help me to shift ever so slightly so that I can continue to move on that track of unconditional love, that I'm not stuck or rutted in the old path of fear anymore, and it takes a rebel heart to take this journey, to do this. And, well, I'm here to live it, because I know that I'm the type of person that's like, I don't care what you say, what are you doing? Actions do speak louder than words. So this is where I'm at. I don't know what the next step is. My next step from before was this one right now, and making this video, because sharing my heart and creating connection and a sense of community and just kind of life togetherness is really what my rebel heart is about. And so I share myself, because we're all in this together. We really are. And until we decide that we're going to do it a different way, not many things are going to change. And I want to see change. I know that we have so much good in this world. I know that we have so many amazing hearts out there. Sensitive, feeling it again. Sometimes it's like that collective energy just all at once, and I'm like, oh shit. Sensitive. Anyhow, a lot of good out there. And it's time for the good ones to stop catering to the asses. Let's stop catering to the fear. Let's stop catering to the nonsense just to keep it quiet. Let's face it. Let's face what's in there, man. This monster in me right now is big, and it hits all kinds of insecurities and all kinds of doubts and all kinds of fears. And there, it's like, oh, holy hell. But I know too that we all feel this. We all live this in some way. And even though our circumstances or stories are different, the energy, the lessons, you know, the power of choice is all there. We share that experience, you know. So anyways, if you stuck with me this long, thank you. I hope that you received some good little tidbit out of that, and thank you for letting me share my heart. I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day.